We got cats going already. I can see it.
More on Adam Johnson's death. You guys are doing something before Friday's game to honor him. What's that discussion been like in your locker room? It's really kind of taken the entire hockey community, sports community, by storm here.
Yeah, we talked about it Saturday night when I started hearing about it on the bus when we got back, and then obviously everything sort of exploded on Sunday. Messaged them about it, talked to them again about it on Monday, just, opening the lines of communication. It's a horrible, horrible tragedy, and, not something that I think a lot of them are thinking about when they're playing hockey, or they weren't, and now they are. So just making sure that, if they needed to talk about it, if it triggered some other thoughts about other things in their lives, we're here, we have support and resources, and also anybody that wants to start wearing neck protection or any other protection, let us know, and we'll get it done. So we've had a big chunk of players request that, which is great, and I think that's something that the NCAA should be looking at moving forward, and talking to the men's staff, because obviously they're right in the thick of it, and I can't imagine how that would feel and what they're going through. So just offering support in whatever way we can.
Do you guys have neck protection stuff already on hand, or is that something you guys got to try? It seems like it's difficult to get that stuff at the moment.
So far, so good. Mark, our equipment person, I think he and Garns were on it right away on Monday. So there's an order that's ready to go out. So they must have found stuff right away.
Did you ever, when you were growing up playing hockey, neck protection, was that really anything
Mm-hmm.
you talked about? Did you wear it or not?
Yeah, I think it's interesting that at a certain age you don't have to wear it anymore, right? So when I was little, we always had neck guards, and some of them were big and clunky, some of them were not, and not in college. I don't think we were required at the time, but I don't see why we wouldn't. I also joked that my skates probably got sharpened every couple weeks when I was in college. It's just different now. The skates are really sharp. We have great equipment. We have better steel. We have people taking care of it. So the game is faster. People are more skilled. So as the game evolves, seems like so should our equipment.
You said the NCAA you'd like to see neck protection required, something that I don't know which committee it is.
Right,
that,
right.
You got a lot of experience at the IIHF level. Is that something the IIHF should be looking at? Do you think? I know some.
I think they do.
Does the IIHF require?
Oh, that's a great question. There is something when we were with the U18s that they had to wear that we normally didn't, and I want to say it might have been neck guards.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but
yeah.
yeah.
All of a sudden hit me that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about the IIHF.
Right, yeah, no, and that's a good point. I think, the whole conversation unfortunately stems from a really bad situation. I wish we were on it ahead of time, and I just think we have to get better, and however that needs to be pushed forward, we should be doing that.
Scott mentioned it both Monday, and then I had with him yesterday, and we talked about it. And I think the prevailing thought was something you just kind of touched on, that, why are we waiting for something to happen?
Mm-hmm.
It's a rule change year coming up. Do you expect that this is going to happen?
I would.
Based on the conversations you've already had.
Yeah, I would be shocked if it didn't. I don't understand the argument against. They're uncomfortable. They don't look cool. Nothing that really is gonna dissuade smart people from making good decisions for the health of student athletes and athletes in general. So I would put my money on it.
Surprised the NCAA. The NCAA is pretty cautious. I don't know how many years we've debated the face shields versus, the half shields versus cages and bubbles and stuff like that. The NCAA hasn't moved on that. Why is it that neck guards have just gone? I don't think wrist guards are required either.
Right. Like that. I'm not sure that anyone had made enough of a push for it, sadly enough. You know, we're all responsible for that. Honestly, I haven't seen anything like this. And I know it happened a couple of years ago to, I think, like a 15-year-old in Connecticut, so it's becoming more prevalent. The, Bruins player a couple of weeks ago got a skate right to the eye and very close to probably losing his eye. So I think it's, unfortunately, sometimes you need bad things to happen to raise awareness.
Shifting gears, St. Thomas third year D1 now, it feels like they continue to improve. What have you noticed with this Tommy's team you'll see this weekend?
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think they brought in a really good freshman class, some good goal scorers there. Watched them play a lot in high school, and they're making a seamless transition to college. So I think they're a motivated, young, hungry team that's getting over the hump, and it's not going to take them very long as a program. I think everybody told me that when St. Thomas was coming on the scene. I'm not from Minnesota, but I heard from a lot of people here that, hey, it's not going to take them very long to start to be competitive, and I think they've arrived.
What have you liked about your group here these last 4 games, racking up some very important wins in league play?
Yeah, huge, and both on the road. Mankato and Bemidji, tough places to go, very physical teams, teams that are always excited to play us, especially Bemidji this year. That was personal, and it felt that way. So those are huge wins. I mean, that Friday night game was one of the most surprising games I've been in lately, just with the way it was all going. That wasn't surprising, but our ability to come back the way we did, those are fun to be in, even though you don't like the pressure and the feeling until it's going your way. But a really good game to be a part of, and I think that brings the belief level in our locker room up that, hey, if you're down a goal for, 50 minutes of the game roughly, we're not out of it, and we can turn this thing around. So I think that was really important, and really big wins for us.
Goals change games. How much did those early goals Saturday change that game?
Yeah, big time. Once, on Friday when they scored early, it put us on our heels, and then the emotions came in, and Bemidji played a really good game. On Saturday, I think we were just, I don't know what it was, but we're ready to go at the drop of the puck, and we were going to be sure that we were the first one to score. And I think it just took maybe some of the stress off of our backs right away, and then we were playing, the style of hockey we want to play, which is up-tempo, fast, dynamic. We had plenty of shots on Friday night. We had the puck in the O-zone the whole time. We just weren't being as creative and as smart, and we let that goalie get really hot, and she played great, but we really, I didn't feel like had challenged her until the end.
So say touching on that, last time we played St. Thomas, I think we put up 8 goals. Does that kind of influence the game plan as, hey, we need to shoot the puck more instead of maybe other things?
It's interesting because it just depends. We were shooting away on Friday night. We had more shots on Friday than we did on Saturday, but we weren't smart with our shots. So sometimes the pass is the right play. So I think it's more getting our players to make the right reads. We're big on reads. What's the penalty kill doing? How do we read where their sticks are? Same thing here. What is the goalie doing? Is she overplaying the shot? Okay, then it's the pass. So the more that we can read the situation, the better we're going to continue to get. So that's really what we're focusing on. I think last year's results and results in the past, maybe that helps with confidence, but I'm always the one that says, hey, we start game 0-0, it's a new year, we're a totally new team, so are they.
Has there been an area already since the beginning of the season to now where you've seen and have been happy with the improvement?
Yeah, it's probably not as specific as you would like. I'm not going to say this zone or this situation, but I have been complimenting our team just in the past couple of weeks of the way we've been practicing. I feel like early in the season there were a lot of new people trying to learn what we want to do and trying to understand how intense we like our practices to be, and I've really liked our compete level over the past couple of weeks. You know, we don't have to be out there forever if we can be efficient, focused, and compete. And so we've been enjoying that part of our development, and it's across the board, because we have some really high-end players that expect it to be here, and then you bring in the new people, and they're getting up there. And I think that helps our team believe in each other, build that trust that you need in order to be successful at this level. Good?
Upstate. Oh, actually, no, I
Okay.
can't.
Oh, okay, bye.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Now you can talk.
Now that she's gone.
Man, the death of Adam Johnson, how big of a topic discussion has that been among you and your teammates that seem to really taking over the hockey world?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously a tragic death, especially when it's someone so close to this program. It's super hard. Our coaches, medical staff have been doing a great job, like making sure that we're all okay, but also it affects them a lot too, especially the ones who knew Adam. But yeah, it's been a sad couple days here at Amsoil, and yeah, just doing what we can to keep moving forward at this point. But yeah, we're taking it for sure.
Has it changed your perspective on wearing neck protection and such? Like, do you have experience wearing what's out there on the market right now?
Yeah, I actually don't have any experience wearing neck protection, but with this happening, it definitely raises just a few questions in probably everyone's minds, honestly, like in the hockey world. But yeah, it's a discussion for sure. Coach gave us the opportunity to wear neck protection if we choose to, so it's an individual decision whether you want to or not. It's completely fine. It's just like asking Mark if you want it or not. It's not a big deal. You don't have to like sign up or raise your hand or anything, but yeah, so we'll see how that kind of pans out, but it's an option for us.
Did you ever, any levels that you've grown up where you were required or you didn't wear neck protection at all?
No.
Was there anything you really thought of before when playing? It seems like, and I guess we don't really know how often, Scott brought it up earlier, and we don't always know how often this happens, because it only seems to get really reported when something really, catastrophic happens. Is it something that had crossed your mind prior to Saturday or Sunday?
No, honestly, it hasn't. I think we kind of take for granted the danger of our sport, especially with the gear that we do have. I don't think we realize like we're not fully protected. Even like going into the boards, like you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, like I said, there's options to make sure that you are protected, that everyone feels safe, feels comfortable, so that we are able to play this dangerous sport as comfortable as possible. But yeah, it's definitely shed light onto a few areas that I never have thought about too much previously, but yeah, just something that we'll probably always keep in mind from this day forward, honestly.
What's the process been like if you guys have to move forward? No one's going to stop. You've got to play St. Thomas this weekend, and you've got to get ready for that. As you try to absorb what happened last weekend and get ready for St. Thomas this week, what's that process been like for your group?
In terms of Adam or Bemidji?
In terms of trying to get ready for what you have to do this weekend while also dealing with that.
Yeah, well, our coaches have done a great job. I think a lot of conversations are coming off the ice, so then when we get on the ice, it's just focusing on what we need to do to be successful. But we are having a lot of conversation off the ice just about being comfortable more so than anything right now, making sure that we all feel safe when we do get onto the ice. But once we do get on the ice, like that is our focus. And yeah, conversations usually happen off the ice, so it's good to keep them separate if we can.
On the ice, what did you like about your team here the last 4 games?
I think we've been super resilient. I think we've been faced with a lot of different challenges. We are still a new group. It's November now, but we have continued to take each learning experience head on, and we've been really good about not getting too low, not getting too high, and continuing to face the challenges head on. And we'll just continue to keep learning, but I've loved our responses to all the different situations that we've been faced with in these last games.
Friday's kind of one of those you got to stick with it type of games, because if you're getting down to it and slow down 1-0. Saturday, you pop a couple goals in the first period. How much did that change that game?
Yeah, I think just at the end of Friday's game, getting those goals late in the game carried over into Saturday. Just that momentum just stayed with us overnight. And once we did get those first couple goals in the first period, we realized like we can keep rolling, keep doing what we're doing. Like floodgates are kind of open, and it was just a good mentality to keep rolling through the last couple of periods.
Reese used relieved on the podcast this week when she said she scored that game on Friday. I wonder what was the rest of the team's reaction when you saw it was her of all people to score that goal?
Yeah, I mean, it was electric. Like, it was amazing. I think that's like something that you dream about. Like, if you do end up transferring, like that's just like, especially in at the Sanford Center, like that's just a dream. And we are so happy for her and so happy for our team, obviously, because that was the game-winning goal. But yeah, she's earned that. That's just hard work day in and day out, and she gets rewarded in a big moment. But Reese would put a puck like that away against any team, no matter who we're playing. So.
How do you keep it rolling against St. Thomas this weekend? Like, what are kind of the keys to success to get win number 5 in a row, win number 6 in a row?
Yeah, I think a lot of what we've been focusing on is the transition from defense to offense. I think that's when we can really capitalize. I think our defensive play is good. I think our offensive play is good. Obviously, still need to continue to grow in those areas, but I think we can really start to catch teams more in our transition game, which is what we've been working on.
How have you seen St. Thomas grow throughout the couple of years that you've played them, and maybe how would you look at them differently this season?
Yeah, I think it's super exciting, and it's good for our league to continue to go like that. It's exciting for us to get to play a top-end team every single weekend, and so no team that we're playing in this league is taken lightly, so we're super excited to kind of see the new group that they have. I think they have a lot of younger girls, a lot of new faces, so it'll be good. We are sticking to our game plan, not really worrying about our opponent too much, but yeah, we're excited.
It's kind of a funny situation because it's been a while now, a few years, where the tradition or the trend seems to be, you know, those teams at the top, Minnesota, Ohio State, Wisconsin, and then the teams at the bottom. And you guys are kind of in the middle where you have a terrible time. You can play well beating those top teams, but you find a way to win always against the bottom teams. And now you have a St. Thomas that doesn't fit in yet where they're going to be. Makes it interesting. But isn't that funny how it happens? You guys can compete with the top teams, but it's really a challenge to knock them off once in a while. But you don't lose to the bottom teams, and you've got to win those games.
Yeah. Yeah, I think anyone can struggle against any team on any given weekend. I think that no matter who's playing the quote-unquote lower-end teams or higher-end teams, like everyone knows that in this league that you have to be on every single Friday, every single Saturday, and no matter who you're playing. So that's the mentality I think that every team in this league has. Thanks, guys.